Good afternoon. I do hope everyone is doing well today. For this week, we were to look at the newspaper database and find articles that could enhance a lesson for the second half of American History Survey course. The topic that I chose was the Kennedy assassination, and to look at the assassination from different perspectives. One from a local perspective in Dallas, a second, a more national perspective, and then an international perspective. And to use the articles to enhance how the three different regions looked at or reported on the Kennedy assassination. Now, I've done assignments similar to this in the past, and actually with a fairly mixed result. But what I would do here, I think differently, is one, I would start off with a lecture and then lecture on the topic, giving them all the information that they need in regards to the Kennedy assassination. I then would break up the class into at least three groups. One group that would look at the assassination from a local perspective, thus using how the local newspapers reported it on the assassination. The second group would look at newspapers from outside the state and how they looked at and reported on the assassination. And the third, of course, would be internationally, look at papers from across the globe. After, of course, a certain amount of time, I would bring the groups eventually back together where they would present what they found to the entire class. So they would be able to teach a class a little bit more on the assassination. And then afterwards, I would have each individual student write a short analysis paper on basically what they learned, what they found, and what they got out of the assignment. This assignment, I think, would be good definitely for smaller classes. If anybody's trying to teach a large group instruction where they have 50, 60, whatever plus students, this assignment is just not going to work. This would be best for a smaller group, smaller classes, and you, of course, have to break them up into, manageable groups. And this would also be great for cohort courses. I think would be the best because they would know each other and would definitely be more accustomed to working in groups. This would probably work better as a residential course as opposed to online, but it can still be done, I think, fairly effectively online by using, the group option on the Blackboard. As far as the methodology, of course, it would include some lecturing, and of course, it would include group work and, of course, written and oral communication as well, which fits very well in the student learning outcomes, at least for my college, on critical thinking, because it does students do the research, look at various newspaper articles, and analyze and examine what it is that's being written at the time about the Kennedy assassination. Two, of course, it takes care of both oral and written communications, and third, the group or teamwork learning outcomes. As for the database itself, I was actually fairly disappointed about the database. I think their newspapers they had on file were fairly limited. I did find three articles, of course, that does work for the assignment. One from the New York Sun, for the New York Times, the Baltimore Sun, and I found one national newspaper, The Guardian, out of London. But I did not find any of the local Dallas newspapers. It was very limited as far as what newspapers were available. So the students would definitely have to be had to find other articles to be able to do this assignment. But that is the assignment that I was thinking of and I think would work very effectively. Anyway, thank you for listening. And again, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Goodbye.